Welcome to Sharp or Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the show that makes the squares sharper and makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I'm joined, as always, by my BFF, my companion, my compadre, my co-host, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, how we doing, buddy?
I think we're pretty good. You know what I mean? Although I will say this. You're younger than me, but
Am I?
Yeah, a little bit. Only in age, not in spirit. I think we're complete opposites when it comes to spiritual age, and probably street sense. 100%. I believe everything is sunshiny and roses, and someone's looking to scam us every single turn. Michael Ray Richardson, the former all-star point guard, mainly for the Knicks and the Nets from the 1980s, passed away from prostate cancer. And as someone who loves the NBA and who was deeply, deeply in love with the NBA in the mid-'80s, Michael Ray Richardson was this sort of sad sack story where he was so good, so dominant, led the league in steals 3 times, and then got banned from the league because this was in the mid-'80s where Coke was everywhere and it was the scourge of the leagues. It was the betting of today for professional sports in general, but especially the NBA. He got banned from the NBA after 4 all-star seasons with the Knicks and the Nets and one other team, I forgot which one. But the dude was a baller. And it was just like, wow, Michael Ray Richardson was 70. And I just have a vision of him in his very short Nets uniform, like beating up on the Sixers in the playoffs, who I loved at the time. And, let's pour one out for Michael Ray.
I mean, it's sad. Don't even, a rhyming name like that, I would remember. Don't even recognize or remember the name.
That's amazing.
He is just truly dust in the wind, that guy.
I'm going to have to educate you on Michael Ray Richardson. I'm also going to have to tell you, Simon, despite the controversy and the confusion and our miscommunication with the audience on the Broncos, and thank freaking God, you listened to all the wise guys, and we had probably the best conversation we've ever had on a Sunday morning. We took out the Niners. We put in the Eagles. The Eagles won. We kind of bet against ourselves because we had been on the Packers earlier in the week. We went 3-2 last week in our 5 favorite picks. One with the Eagles, one with the Ravens, one with the Dolphins. Lost with the Cardinals and Bucs for the year 28-22 through 10 weeks. As an Eagles fan, thoughts, comments, concerns, criticisms?
Yeah, no, just because early in the week I'm on a position, I'm going to try not to be so hard on holding ourselves to it because a lot can change, information can change. And yeah, thank God I spoke up because, again, you're catching me at a weird time. I've been up all night. If we were doing this show, I had been sleeping. I'd probably be a little meaner to you, Chad, a little harder on our picks and what we should and shouldn't do on our Sunday morning show. But you catch me in a very vulnerable, soft spot that early in the morning, no sleep, and I'm very agreeable. So thank God we got off because we can't have these back-to-back losing weeks. They've been brutal. So yeah, happy I'm pivoted on it. Gross game. As an Eagles fan, I love these games. These are the games we're built to win. These are the exact games we do win. We just pull these teams into the mud. The funniest thing is just how people react to these certain games where, again, I hate the conversation of these NFL players saying, well, you never played the game before, so you shouldn't have an opinion. But when you hear some people speak, well, the most basic thing is like they were like, oh, both these quarterbacks were awful, right? Jordan Love, terrible. Hurts was terrible last night. It's dry air. They can't get grip on the ball. There's a reason all their passes are sailing or having bad throws. Like it's just people are like, oh, it's an off night. It's like, well, look at the conditions. And then you look at the field. Guys can't get their feet under them, right? It's slippery. It's slick. A lot of those things add up to be a really stupid, low-scoring, sloppy game. On the other side, both offenses just had terrible luck, right? Couldn't convert. And, we talked a little about Green Bay, the Tucker Kraft stuff. That was a real issue, right? And we talked during the week. I said, maybe we're overlooking this whole Tucker Kraft injury. Yeah. And you saw that safety valve for Jordan Love on third down or key downs, it's just not there. It wasn't there for them. There was nothing to scheme up where that guy has been such a difference maker for that offense. And yeah, that Eagles team definitely stole one there, right? But I said it before the season, it's hard to complain as an Eagles fan if you're in the greatest era of our, football dynasty. 7 years, 2 Super Bowls, and after a Super Bowl, I thought there would be a fall off. I think anyone did, right? If you're looking at this Eagles team, a lot of injury luck. Basically, had a really young defensive front, and Saquon has not been himself. The Madden cover, SI cover is the curse is real. Still number 1 seed right now, and we're at week 11 in the NFC. So pretty crazy as an Eagles fan that this team I have so much doubt about. The offensive coordinator, all of it. I can't help but be impressed that this team somehow is the 1 seed right now where there is still lingering doubts about this offense.
2 things. Number 1, I never think of you as vulnerable or agreeable on a Sunday morning. So if that is you, vulnerable and agreeable.
It's as nice as you get, Chad.
God help any future relationships that you have, because that is just going to be just plain messy. Number 1. Number two, how do you know
that was very, Chad has never had a brother. You can tell up on that right there. Chad is very soft, people.
Number 2, don't get defensive on me. I can criticize you.
It's a comment. It's like, I take off kid gloves with you. Hey, we got to take out 49ers, put the Eagles in with kid gloves. And that's me being hard on you. You're unreal, man.
Who said you were? I didn't say you were being hard on me. You said that was you being vulnerable. I was like, yeah,
I was
that
very
makes
gentle
sense.
with you. Hey, we got to take this team out. Wasn't mean. Didn't say anything mean. Was very gentle about it.
But why would it have to be mean? Regardless.
Why would it have to be? Because sometimes you're disagreeable. In that you were like, no, I like this. I want to be on this side. But luckily, you were along for the ride. Thank God.
So maybe I was agreeable.
That's true. Maybe.
Number 2, if you know the SI cover jinx, then you got to know who Michael Ray Richardson is, because they basically were born at the same time. They're legends. We're born at the same time. Listen, Simon. More importantly, it's Veterans Day.
Michael Ray Richardson. This guy's getting tons of airtime today.
He deserves it. It's Veterans Day. A sincere thanks to all of our veterans, those who have served, those who do serve. It's a privilege to live in a country where we have people volunteering. So thank you to all the veterans on Veterans Day.
Back-to-back World War champions, best military in the world. Thank you for your service, everybody.
Back to back. This is our Tuesday show. We're going to review the entire slate. Make sure to check out the Sunday AM show. If you want the games that will be our official 5 after we've had a chance to review the line moves and the injuries, there have definitely been lots of moves on Sundays this season, as you've seen, and some controversy we had. So make sure you pay attention to that one. Don't forget, you can get the shows on Sharper Square, YouTube. Like this video, subscribe while you're at it. You can also subscribe to Sharper Square on Apple Pods, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. Okay. Thursday Night Football, 8:15, Amazon Prime. New York Jets at the New England Patriots. Boy, this number's big. 11.5 for the Patriots. Look, the Jets are just a bad team, and I think right now, coming off that win against the Browns, where everyone sort of believed that was the spot where you had to bet the Jets, as we did, whatever worked for them against Cleveland, in the perfect spot for their defense to be motivated against a lower-level QB, will not work against a very good QB and a brilliant coach in Mike Vrabel. Last week, Justin Fields went 6 of 11 for 54 yards. 42 of those yards came on a screen pass to Breece Hall that he ran for a touchdown. The strength of this team is their rushing offense. And I put strength in quotes. Here's the problem. The Pats' strength on defense against the run. Top 5 across every advanced metric. First overall in some of the more superficial categories. And even though their pass defense is suspect, I'm almost done with my soliloquy here. Even though their pass defense is suspect, I just gave you the Justin Fields stats. And Garrett Wilson is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Poor Christian Gonzalez, he's not going to have anyone to guard this week. I'll be clear. I'll be clear. This will not be a Final 5 pick. I'm going to be clear.
No.
But I'm having a hard time getting to the Jets, even with a massive, massive number.
Oh, come on. We know the Jets are going to win this one outright again, right? Can we
No
bet
way.
the Jets money line 3 weeks in a row, Chad? It's been good to us. We're on
Dude,
a heater right now, the Jets money line.
come on. Come on.
Um,
Tell me real.
we're being real. This is the definition of a letdown trap spot. But we've been saying this for about a month, this New England team. So,
That's what I mean.
yeah, this is they should win this by 30 points. They are better across the board. Everything they do well defensively is a weakness for this Jets team. So, yeah, I'm happy that we're avoiding it. I'll be on the Jets team. I know plenty of guys who are going to be on New England. Know plenty of pros already taking positions on New England. Like you said, that number was 10. It's been pushed up to 11.5 now. So I hate it, but it's just New England. Again, their fans, they shouldn't care what someone like me thinks. They have possibility of being the 1 seed. They're just not that good of a team. They have so many weaknesses that they just keep overcoming and have insane QB play. And it's just all hitting right now. So they'll keep getting away from it. They're going to get caught. I mean, they are going to get caught, and this is going to go the other way. But I get why you're hesitant. It's why we just tried to stand in front of this team last week and got demolished. I get why you don't want to do it again, but to me, this is just, yeah, you got to just bet the Jets line. It's bumped up too much. It doesn't matter who's on the field with this team. Like last week, they had no right covering that number. We said they had 2 special teams touchdowns. So if you want to fade this Jets team, it's a Thursday night. We always say the favorites, especially home teams, it does well long term. It's just skewed that way. But man, I can't get over how big of a number this is for Drake May to try to cover. It's
Massive
a lot of points.
It's a massive, massive number. Let's go across the pond. We're going to Madrid. We're going to a city where most people, when the game starts, are getting home from dinner at 9:30 in the morning. We got Washington at Miami, and as producer Matt Mitchell pointed out, if there's ever been a game in a city where a team has a chance to just completely disappear into the nightlife when their season is lost and their coach may get fired, it is this Miami Dolphins team who are currently 2.5-point favorites. Huge swing in the game, by the way, because the game is at 1.5 on Sunday night, even after about while the Lions were getting demolished, and it's swung to Miami minus 2.5, so a huge 4-point swing. Are the Commodores, the Commodores, great band, the Commodores, the Commanders, such a dreadful team against the run that Devon Achane can again run for 1,000 yards?
I'm shocked you didn't sing there. Good on you, Chad. Good on you.
I would have, but I couldn't think of any.
Matt Mitchell's got to jump in. He would know.
Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift.
Night shift.
Night shift.
Night shift.
Dude, great.
Yeah.
That's why you're the best, Matt. Probably supposed to be the Commanders, but it's under 3. If it's going to be Mariota again, with all these injuries that they've had, Washington, their defense is just atrocious. Like you said, I've been killing us for not fading this Commanders team this whole time. Like
Yeah.
we just keep every week I've been going against them. Somehow we have not taken them in the contest, and every week they're just terrible. Like the coaching staff, I think the head coach said he's taking over defensive duties.
Yeah, Dan Quinn is now play calling.
Did Dan Quinn say? Yeah. So, will that change much? I just don't know if they have the pieces. They just have had so many injuries when they were already an older team with a lot of weaknesses. So, it's under 3. I guess I'll take it, but we always say we don't want to bet Tua, let alone Tua as a favorite on the road. So happy to avoid this game, and just like everyone else, I'll be there 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and be like, well, the game starts an hour and a half. I got to bet some side, and I'll probably end up on Miami. So I hate this one, but got to take a side.
Yeah, to me, it was anything. If Miami's still under 3, I would take it, because I do think in terms of sort of, if this is a Spirit Bowl, the spirit for Miami after beating Buffalo is a little bit higher. They might be able to see some opportunities versus I think the Commanders, like, we got a backup quarterback. We got a defense that can't stop anybody. They're geriatric. Like, we got nothing going on here. So I know they're professionals. I know they're going to do the best they can. But I think the scheme favors Miami over Washington.
Yeah, shockingly, only had Miami -1 here. So I think that's what most guys are. It's like, shockingly, this is probably a lot closer than people realize matchup-wise. So we're very public in our pick, but we both agree it's about the number, the fact that it's under a field goal.
Yeah. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, Simon. This line opened at 5.5. It has moved down to 4.5. I'm going to be totally honest. This was nearly Chad's choice.
Wow.
I bet Cincinnati at plus 5.5. Couple things here. Number one, Joe Flacco just being healthier and having these receivers against the Steelers' diminished secondary. They can't seem to figure it out. They had that one good game where they tried to play zone against the Colts a few weeks ago, and they moved Jalen Ramsey to safety. But this team, like, defensively is not in a good spot. And I know we now got the Steelers look terrible, and so, maybe I'm buying into fading the Steelers here, but this is really a bet on Joe Flacco and that receiving core just being able to score whenever they want and keep this game close, closer than the line reflects. The line has moved to 4.5 at Hard Rock. So I bet it at 5.5. It's moved in that direction. It's one of the reasons why I didn't make a Chad's choice is because it's got down to 4.5.
There's something about that Joe Flacco. Can't put my finger on
Joe Flacco. Battered Flacco.
I instantly thought this was one of the weirder numbers hung this week, right? I think most of us agree. Why is this not 3.5? These two teams already played this season. Bengals won 33-31. I know it was a Thursday game and weird things happen on Thursday, but I don't know about you, but this is giving me a ton of the same vibes for this 49ers-Rams game. Like the 49ers on a Thursday beat that Rams team, stole that game. It's giving me a lot of vibes here where it feels too easy. And I'm a little worried about this Bengals side, but I agree with you. If you want to take the number 5.5, that feels like that's a sharp number. It's moving that way. Maybe I'll get there on the Steelers. But we're sitting right now, I'm with Chad. Like, I want to be on the Bengals, but I'm just worried there's something I'm missing here because this line feels way off. I don't get why this is not 3.5. Like you just said, Pittsburgh's defense, we've said all year, they're super suspect. The only time they perform well is when they get these insane turnovers. So not good to be banking on defense with you need a ton of turnover luck. And then on the flip side, Rodgers has just been very questionable, but this is a great match for him, especially if Trey Hendricks is still out. A no pressure type of game. I mean, we haven't really beat him up, Stort, but we bullied that guy coming to the season. He had one good week one, and he has been nothing since for this.
Oh my God.
Team.
He's been a meme. He's become like every single week someone is finding a video of him doing something where he just doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
And that's a classic
horrible pick.
Classic Bengals pick. We said all as I told you,
freak athlete who gets 4 sacks in college.
Before the season, an NFL scout said to me, there's nobody in college who's game planning to keep your best player out of the action. If he's not getting plays, it's not because he's a freak athlete who they just can't figure out how to use. It's because he doesn't know how to play football. And that's what we're seeing with Stewart right now. Obviously I'm making a bet on the Bengals. Keeping it, being able to score every time they want. I'm not expecting the Bengals defense to stop Aaron Rodgers. I'm expecting him to look like he's 31 years old in this game. But I just think the Bengals
you're banking on Joe Flacco to keep up like he did the previous matchup. Again, 33-31 the first time they played. So maybe we should be looking more towards the over here, even playing aside, to be honest.
That's interesting. All right, Carolina visiting Atlanta. Carolina's a 3.5-point underdog. Let me ask you this question. Simon Hunter, are you ready? Which one, if you're a fan, which one of these teams do you feel better about going into the future? Would you rather right now be a fan of Bryce Young, Dave Canales, and the Carolina Panthers, or would you rather be a fan of Raheem Morris, Michael Penix, and the Atlanta Falcons?
I don't know about the head coach, but Atlanta's foundation I really like. Like, you have the receiver, you have the running backs, and what we think is potentially the quarterback. Like, Penix has a great arm. He's got a real arm talent. It's can he add the other tools, right? We keep saying it's. I know people want them to be better, and you can kind of close your eyes a little bit with this Falcons team. Where they have a couple games where it's like, oh, they could have won that one, they could have stole that game there. What are they, 3-6 this year? So I get if their fan base is down on it, but like we said, it's just hard to be patient as a fan. you got to be patient with Penix. He's doing things that he looks like a first-year quarterback. He's just inconsistent, makes really dumb throws, and he's just locked in on Drake London, which isn't an issue because Drake London's so good. But you're not gonna win games that way, right? You can't just feed on a guy, especially on third downs. The defenses that are gonna do that. So for me, the Panthers, I don't know. As much as we love the Panthers and Bryce Young, he's just not looking like Bryce Young.
He's kind of regressed the past couple of weeks.
I know, and it's like painful to watch because it's like you want to say, well, it's the coach, maybe it's the pass protection. It's like, no, it's him. He's not making the right reads. He's got guys open in certain spots where he's not seeing, and comes back down to the height stuff. I know it sounds lazy, but it's true. There's a reason most of these teams went 6'4", 6'5" quarterbacks. Guys like him, he doesn't see that open guy in the flat because he can't see over his left tackle. So I don't know, Chad. If I was a fan for this year, I'd be excited if I'm a Panthers fan because you can kind of lie to yourself and think we could be the wild card team and Bryce could keep improving. But yeah, I would be a little worried about him and what he's going to be like going forward. Where Penix, I still haven't seen enough to really make a judgment call on that. So I like Atlanta here too. I don't know about you in this matchup, but I thought this number was really interesting. The fact that they opened this at -3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like Atlanta or no?
I actually wanted to get your opinion. I couldn't land anywhere. It feels like, because the reason I asked the question is because when I went through it, you and I, when we both eyeball these things before we even do any work, we sort of instinctively say, who do I like here? And my instinct was to like Carolina at 3.5, getting the hook in the division. I think two teams.
Well, you're with the pros. I know a couple pros who right away Sunday they grabbed that.
So,
but it hasn't moved.
But it hasn't moved, which is interesting, right? Because like normally these lines we've seen with some other division games that opened at 3, they've moved to 2.5 or they moved to 3.5. This one was at 3.5 and has just stayed, and it's the only one that has stayed of these division games. And so I wanted to like Carolina. But I think that's because we always like Carolina and we want to believe in Bryce Young and we think we've seen something in the way he plays that we've actually won money on. And, and so, but look, he was terrible against the Packers and they won because he made some good plays down the stretch, but really it was Rico Dowdle, right? Last week against the Saints, he was truly awful. Like he made bad plays, the same things he had done against the Packers, only they didn't overcome them against the Saints. And so that was pretty disconcerting, and it looked to me like he was regressing a little bit, and the things that had made him magical when he's stepping up in the pocket and being accurate and hitting guys that keeps him in the game, he was just throwing picks, and he was fumbling, and like not playing like a professional quarterback who's on a winning team. And then I look at the Falcons, and if you squint, not just on the offensive side, like you can see them getting to the ball defensively. It's just a couple plays away, like some bad calls away, meaning schematically, that let the Colts stay in it. They should have killed the Colts in that game. It shouldn't have been a game. And so that's when I started to lean to the Falcons.
Yeah, and it's a game that I just earmarked right away because my model had a 2.5. So it's like, okay, I'm already going to like the Panthers. My model likes the Panthers as well. And it probably is going to be something I'm a little blind to right now, which is we're giving a lot of praise to Atlanta here. Let's make no mistake. This is a defense that just gave up, 250 yards rushing to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
and
totally.
You could say, well, that was fluky. Well, go watch that Miami game against Achane where they struggled. So you're seeing a little bit of pattern that when they face really dominant running backs, their defense does struggle, and their offense seems not to be able to keep up with it. But, Atlanta here is on a slide. That's why it's like, I really wanted to be on the Panthers, but just situationally, they win that Bills game. Everyone thinks, that's a win that's going to send them to another level. That's a young Atlanta team. They've lost 4 straight. I mean, tough road, but 49ers, Miami, New England, Colts, they've dropped them. You would expect this team to get right here at home against the Panthers. But like Chad's saying here, maybe I should trust my model and trust my instincts here. This is a great matchup. Rico Dowdle on this Carolina Panthers team would take the 3.5. But I don't get why this number is what it is. Because to me, if they open at 2.5, 3, that made more sense for this matchup than what they're putting here, which is they think the Falcons are a much better team than the Panthers. So it's just see what the market will do with this one. Like Chad said, If you want the early read with the pros, they're on the Panthers plus 3.5. I'll be patient here, maybe take a position on the Falcons later.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off on this one. We're gonna see how the market plays it. Let's do a quick word from our friends at Hard Rock Bet. Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. It's that time of year when every day feels like a big game day. You've got pro football, college football, NBA, college hoops, hockey. It's all happening, and on Hard Rock Bet, there's always something to bet on. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets. And if you're not sure what to place your first bet on, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Here's one that stood out to me. Green Bay's Josh Jacobs has scored a touchdown in 13 straight games against NFC opponents. Check out the Stats Hub now. Get the edge and bet with confidence. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida, and it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado. Coming soon to more states too. Plus, Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single day, so whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee is now a 7-point underdog at Hard Rock Bet. This had been 7.5, and it still is in most places. You know what I realized last week when I was putting together my notes and the script yesterday? How nice it was not to have to think about Tennessee last week.
Agreed.
Truly. It was amazing. And like a lot of questions here. Who's playing quarterback for the Texans? We don't know yet. I mean, we'll know, the status of C.J. Stroud later this week as he goes through the concussion protocol. Jeffrey Simmons, I don't think is going to play for the Texans. And when I think about the Titans, like the last time we bet against them, and we rarely have in the contest, was 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, and they burned us with a punt return and a pick six, and then they got a backdoor field goal. So I kind of want to go back to not having to think about the Texans, especially when I don't know who's playing quarterback, and a team that is significantly offensive challenged.
Yeah, I love the Texans here. I'm shocked those numbers come down. So I'm interested to talk to pros this week, see why they're taking this Titans team, but just a nightmare match for the Titans. As if these teams didn't play earlier in the year, and I think the score was 26-0 or 30-0. The Houston won against the Titans.
Was it really?
Yeah, and it's just about the matchups where it's like, what can this Titans team offensively do to beat this Texans team matchup and scheme-wise? And I just can't find one. So do I think they get shut out again? No. CJ, I think, will get one. They'll steal one, maybe get a touchdown. And, like you said, it's interesting they hung this line when no one knows who the quarterback is going to be, where I feel like even if they hung 6, 5.5, they would have got the same amount of action. They hung it 7.5, and it's all Titans money, all of it. Like, I'm looking right now at a bunch of different books. It's just all Titans money. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just be patient and I'll get a better number than the Texans. But if this hits 6.5, I'm going to have a hard time avoiding this game. And maybe I'll convince you come Sunday if it's 6.5 put in the contest. But Titans, I don't know how they score. And the other side, Houston wants to run the ball. Guess who's horrible against the run? The Titans.
Tennessee Titans. So, Tennessee Titans, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Jeffrey Simmons is back. If he's not,
I don't think he's back.
It's going to be another great matchup, great spot for this Texans team. So, yeah, I'm going to go back and I'll rewatch that Houston game for early in the year, but I just remember they flat out dominated across the board. It was something stupid like 9 or 6-0 at a half. And the second half, they just ran it down the throats of Tennessee, and Tennessee couldn't do anything offensively. So it just feels a good matchup for this Texans team here, coming off such an emotional win and keep those vibes rolling.
I don't think Simmons is going to be back. We'll update it on Thursday, but when I was checking the reports yesterday, most of them said they didn't expect him back until week 12. So that changes it. Listen, you know me, on Sunday mornings, I am easy, easy like sun. By the way, that might be a Commodore song too, and that's a great callback, and we didn't even plan that. I don't need a ton of persuading on betting against the Titans. I had a little bit of trepidation just because I saw the number move, and I don't know who the quarterback is. But if you feel that strongly about it, I'm going to be all in on it. I might make it my biggest bet of the year.
No, I hope not. I wouldn't do that if it's Davis Mills.
All right, well, we're going to put a hold on Houston -7. We'll see who the players are. Green Bay at the New York Giants, +7.5. Since the news of Brian Daboll being fired, since the Green Bay Packers put up 7 points at home and had a myriad of miscues against the Philadelphia Eagles, this number's come down from 8.5 to 7.5. And I don't know about you. I don't have a ton of feelings about Brian Daboll. I can't tell if he was just an arrogant dude or a football dude or a guy who is getting screwed. I think it's mostly Brian Daboll getting screwed. Forget about his ability to coach and scheme and get along with, people on the coaching staff, and the players don't seem to like him very much. He seems to be a little bit of a manage the star and not manage anybody else kind of coach. But boy, the videos that are coming out about Joe Shine and his reactions to Jackson's dart and how he didn't want to take him and how he got rid of Saquon when Brian Daboll wanted to keep him and how he signed Daniel Jones to a $140 million deal. He seems a little weaselly in this whole situation.
You come across all these people in life where you're just like, how does this guy have and maintain these jobs? And he's one of those people. It's like,
he's managing up. In the corporate world, it's called managing up.
Okay. Well, he's doing it. Definition. We have a couple of people like that in my world as well, but they always get theirs. I don't know. Hopefully it goes the same in the business world, but I look at this move as, I guess, a positive for the Giants. This guy is blown, was it 4 double-digit fourth quarter leads this season with the Giants? Yeah. Had to do, if you're the owner, you have to show your fan base you have a pulse and make that move. So, yeah, just burn it all down. Get rid of him, get rid of the GM, start over. Like we joke with Dart, tons and tons of talents, no brains. Guy is a full-on idiot when it comes to protecting himself. And, someone joked, and I think it's true. I think he has 3 concussions this year.
Well, I think he's been checked for 3 concussions.
No, he's been checked for 4.
Checked for multiple concussions. You're right.
Yeah, but it's still he just needs to understand. He's got so much talent. The league is set up to protect yourself if you're a quarterback, especially as a runner. It's just crazy the stuff he put himself into. So I am all over Green Bay here, especially if this might be Russell Wilson. Oh, my God. And we've seen it. Russell Wilson could have a fluke game where he puts it all together. This just ain't it. This is a defensive front on Green Bay that can get pressure on a quarterback. They have a lot of guys that can win one-on-ones. And the flip side, LaFleur with this Packers team, that was kind of an oddity. We both talked about Green Bay. He doesn't lose back-to-backs. That was the first time they lost back-to-back games in 2 years. And LaFleur, when he does lose back-to-back, he really gets his team right in that third game. It just we always give him praise for being such a good coach. This seems like a LaFleur type of game, type of spot. So I get with people and their doubts with Love. I like I said, I think it was the dry air. Quarterbacks not able to grip the ball. We saw a ton of drops too from receivers. Just was a really off night altogether. Where I think this is a good bounce back spot for this Packers team. So scary number. I get it. We're batting on a Packers team that is not proven to be worthy of this type of number. But I think it's a Russell Wilson line that it could be announced it's Russ. So I'm going to get ahead of it, see if I can get this now. And if it is Russ, see if this number gets up to 9 or 10.
Yeah, the number's been moving in the opposite direction. The other thing that I think about with this game, Matt LaFleur might want to give Josh Jacobs the ball many, 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 many times. And the Giants' weakness, and we saw it again last week against the Bears, was being able to stop the rush. They are 31st, 32nd in the league, any way you slice it. So it does play to the strength. And we saw last night, even the Packers, they continue to try to run. They continue to try to run. That's some dubious play calls, I think. But when Josh Jacobs had the ball, he was somewhat effective and obviously got into the end zone. So I think it's a strength against weakness as well, regardless of Russell Wilson. But it is a big number. Big, big number. Chicago Bears. Minnesota Vikings. Commodores did not sing that song. It's at 3 at Hard Rock. It's kind of been bouncing around. It was at 3. It went down to 2.5. It went back to 3. I'm talking about the Vikings being 3-point favorites here. I'd love your take on this because my lean is Minnesota when it's under a field goal. I have not bet it yet. I'm trying to get out of my head about J.J. McCarthy and trying to get out of my head about my Bears euphoria. I was talking to my buddy Andy last night, who I grew up with outside Chicago in Highland Park, and also went to Indiana with me. We don't even know how to react to having a dominant college football team and a professional football team that is bringing us joy. And so I'm trying to see the full picture for the Bears and not just what they're doing in the final 2 minutes when the whole game is breaking down and Caleb gets to use his athleticism. And I'm also trying to get over J.J. McCarthy and just say, I think the Vikings at 2.5 are the right side here.
Yeah, I think we'll just have to avoid it then. I think I'm too biased as well with this Bears team. They've just been winning me a lot of money.
You are.
Yeah, and I've just been betting them, especially their money line every week, where it's like they've just been good to me. They just find ways to win. They're a very competitive team, and I love the books hung this line, what they did, right? Because their first matchup, Vikings, first week, go on the road, and they win, right, by 3 against this Bears team. So the books are just like, we'll let you guys decide, right? We're gonna put it right at where you just said. If it's 2.5, how do you not tempted to take Minnesota there? It feels a good number. A +3. Same for the Bears. It's like these teams are so evenly matched. I just think it's priced right. I don't really see value either side. So if I have to make a pick on this side, I'm gonna go Bears. I just like the way they're playing right now, the vibes of the team. On the flip side, I think we both just don't trust JJ. Like
we don't.
On script,
that's why
on script he's great. That first series, first 15, we always say, no issue there. But after that, I just don't think him or KOC are in sync. Where Caleb Williams, he's not as great on the first 15, but he gets better as the game goes along, especially the run game for this Bears team gets better as the game goes along. So, yeah, at the 3, I got to take Bears.
Not that I want to be nitpicky about the greatest football franchise in NFL history, but he is still wildly inaccurate. And sometimes the reasons the reasons why they have to have these dramatic moments is because he's still missing the easy wide open throws. There were 3 of them on Sunday late in the game. One of them, Colston Loveland caught. It was behind him as he was rushing across the middle. One of them was wide open Roma Dunze, and it just was an overthrow. Another one, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Luther Burden. Just didn't connect on it. And it wasn't anything but Caleb not making a good throw. That is killing me. Do you get extra credit for making the spectacular, but not making the easy, but you win because of the spectacular?
Just win, baby. That's all that matters to me.
It's interesting. I'm about process as much as I'm about results. Tampa Bay visiting the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are 5.5-point favorites. I'm going to say something here. I feel like oh, interesting. You want to say something?
No, I said say it.
Oh, I think the Bucs are getting dinged here more for losing than the Bills are for losing. Because it feels weird to me this line is 5.5. It should be lower.
Agree. So that's what's scaring me off of it a little bit, where it's like, just like the Cincy game, what are we not seeing here, Chad? Are we too in love with this Bucs team because they were so good to us early in the year, had so many incredible wins when they were priced right and were covering for us? Do not get this line at all. This feels like a respect to this Bills team that has not deserved the respect.
No.
This big, where that secondary is suspect. I feel like Baker is going to be able to get his, even with these nameless guys. Bizarre number. So, yeah, let's be patient on this one. I'll see what I can hear and talk to people. As you said here right now, I love the Bucs, especially at 5.5. So, something I must be missing here. This just feels like such a good number. And, we all know the deal. Josh Allen, if he can find it and play in himself, yeah, they should roll here. This is a good match for him against this Bucs team. But I feel like the Bucs defense, and embarrassing as it was last week against the run, don't you think the boys would bounce back here the following week? Like, it was such a bad loss for them, where I know the Bills, they can say, well, we just had an embarrassing one ourselves. They don't have the guys. You don't have a Vita Vea. You just I think they lost another rookie to an injury this past week, which is just, it's never ending with this Bills team. They just had a horrible injury luck to a defense that couldn't afford to keep losing guys. So I don't love this match for this Bills team, but I'm going to be patient here, make sure I'm not missing something before I really put a lot of money into this Bucs side.
Well, here's what's interesting. You just mentioned the rush game against the Bucs for the Patriots. The Bucs gave up, I think, 166 yards rushing in that game. 125 of them were on those 2 broken plays. So are we looking at the Bucs defense as having had a bad game, or did the Bucs defense have 2 bad plays?
But Cook's that same style as Henderson. He can break it. He can break them. Yeah.
But, to that degree, it's hard to break big runs. It's hard to
outliers
do
for sure. You're dead on about that. They're definitely outliers.
So I don't automatically think just because they've got James Cook that he's going to be able to do the same things that Travion Henderson did. I might have to lean into this Bucs defense playing as it normally does. The one thing that I can't get over, Bucky Irving might just be much more important to this offense than we even gave him credit for. And we gave him a lot of credit. But it's not the same team since he's been out with the foot and the shoulder, and he's not expected to play this week. Todd Bowles said yesterday he did not think Bucky Irving was going to play. And I think that's making a much bigger difference. Rashad White is just a different player. And as magical as Baker is, if he doesn't have Bucky Irving and he's down Mike Evans and he's down Chris Godwin, even with the offensive line getting better, is there something in the sauce that's missing that we're not seeing?
Agree. No, that's fair.
LA Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, it's when we fade the Chargers. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we missed betting on the Chargers last week when we knew we should have been betting on the Chargers. And we now would normally want to bet on the Chargers as road favorites because they looked so good last week. And we're like, all right, they figured it out. You make quick passes. You don't let the offensive line become a liability. And then we would bet them, and they'll go on the road as favorites, and they'll lose. And they won't make us happy. So I'm just saying right now, I don't even care who they're playing. We're fading the Chargers.
Well, shockingly, they've been winning on the road. They just have not been covering for us. So you're right. They've burned us in this exact spot twice already this year.
No difference to me, Simon. I don't care about wins and losses.
Yeah, that's fair.
I care about my wins and losses.
Yeah, Hard Rock has already moved it, unfortunately. Like, to me, it's +3. Go find it if you can on the Jags. But I don't even know how much time I'm going to spend on this one because I honestly hate this game, Chad. I hate that I have to bet on it. I hate that I'm going to have to watch it. I just do not enjoy the Trevor Lawrence betting experience. I never have, never will. So this is the random time where I'll take that number because I know it's the right one. The model thinks it's the right one. Chad just basically nailed it. Like, we get burned by the Chargers here every time. Now we're going the other side. We'll definitely Chargers by 30 points in this matchup. But no, it's just, we talked the matchup wise that you saw Herbert, even against Pittsburgh, they feel like they got away with a bunch of stuff just because there's so many turnovers by Rodgers and everything kind of went their way, where this feels like a good spot, right, for this Jaguars team. And the fact that game should be a pick, Jaguars gave up, was it 29 points in a fourth quarter, embarrassing loss. This number's moved a whole another point to this Chargers team. So +3, I'll take on this Jags team, but my God, do I hate it.
Yeah. Seattle at Los Angeles Rams. Two of the best teams in the conference right now. Rams are 2.5-point favorites. This is one of those games where I was referring to earlier, like, opens at 3, moves to 2.5, and the wise guys are clearly coming on Seattle. Talk to me.
I should have said pause. Yeah, it's a great matchup. Seahawks. How do we not take them here? How do we not take the Seahawks? I know why people are betting the Rams. The Rams are getting all the early money. This number, like you just said, it is 2.5 now. It's a couple 3 still out there you can find if you can, but that's where I want to be the Seahawks. I wanted to be on the 3 early. This Rams team, I get it. They're an absolute juggernaut right now. They're the hottest team in football. But there are things you look up the matchup-wise that this Seahawks team can do that's going to give the Rams real problems offensively. And I'm excited to see how Sean McVay is going to counter that. Because, this year we've been talking a lot about it. The Seahawks team has been a different team on the road. This feels like the true test for them on the road this year, right? Like I'm trying to find another game this year they've faced a team on the road that's at this type of level, and I really can't find it. And the Rams, we've talked about, they're probably the best offense in football right now. So
Yeah.
it's a huge game, right? This is their first time meeting up in this division. Feels like they're the two teams at the top. They're by far the two teams that, as an Eagles fan, probably give you the most worry right now in football. So I, as an Eagles fan, can't wait to watch this one. I would say this is the game of the week. I know a lot of people think Eagles-Detroit is, because I believe they're both number one in their divisions right now. But I love this type of game because it's divisionally, and like you just said, it's the type of game that it's going to have huge ramifications going forward. So Seattle-wise, our big worry here, we're back in Darnold over Stafford when Stafford's super hot right now. And we're talking about confidence with the last possession in the game. It's going to be Stafford. So I'm not shocked to see professionals and early money here coming on the Rams at the 2.5, but I just love this matchup-wise, Seahawks against this Rams offense. Defensively, on the flip side, I don't really think the Rams have guys that can get stops against the Seahawks team that it's the play-action pass. It's what's working. And they don't have a corner that can take away JSN. So I like the matchup schematically for the Seahawks team. So really, really excited to see this one. Maybe a game we don't bet or put in our contest because it's just going to be a game where you don't really need to invest a lot into it because there's too many unknown factors and how good of a matchup it is. But at the 3, I feel like you got to take the Seahawks at that number.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll get back there. I don't know that it will, but I like Seattle's defense here. They are so good at rushing the passer. And if there's anything we know, especially up the middle, if there's anything we know can bother Matthew Stafford, it's pass rush up the middle where he's got to evade going outside. And that's just harder for him to do. It's always been hard for him to do, even when he was younger, and now that he's older, that to me is the biggest challenge. It's always the biggest challenge for older quarterbacks. So when someone's coming at you directly in front of you, it's hard to figure out which way you're going to go, and you don't have the legs to sort of get there. I really like Seattle's defense. They're so freaking good. And I think they're better than the Rams defense, to be honest, especially from the pass rush. So yeah, we don't have to invest a ton in this. But we're going to like Seattle, and we're going to be rooting for Seattle on Sunday. San Francisco at Arizona. So we talked about this Sunday night. My first instinct was take the Cardinals at +3. The line has moved to 2.5. My instinct was it's just natural off of a blowout loss. And look, like the things that happened in that game against Seattle are unprecedented. You had the same guy forcing a fumble to a teammate of Jacoby Brissett, and the same teammate picking up the fumble and running it back for a touchdown. And that happened twice in the first 16 minutes of the game. Once in the first quarter, once in the first minute of the second quarter. And like, after that, Simon, after that, Cardinals played lights out. And they actually outscored the Seahawks the rest of the game. So that's why I like the Cardinals. They just got blown out, and it's the right side the week after a blowout.
Yeah, I think it's honestly a good match for them against what we keep talking about, a 49ers defense that they can only keep getting away with so much scheme-wise. Eventually, it does matter when you don't have players that can put any type of pressure on a quarterback, right? You need some type of pass rush. And you don't have any type of cover corners. The Fred Warner injury, as the weeks have gone along here, it's grown more and more where you just see in-game adjustments just aren't the same without him in the middle commanding it there. So I gave out the road chalk I can give out, right? I gave out the Texans, gave out Green Bay. People are going to hate these next couple of games. I just love all these home dogs, and this starts with this game here. So like Chad said, if you can find the +3, that's where I would prefer to be. Don't hate the 2.5. Just want to always get the best number available. So I don't know if this will be a game come Sunday we'll even talk about really because it's just not going to be there with us with the number.
Right, we're not going to get a 3.5. We're only going to get a 2.5.
Yeah, and I just don't love it. Like I like it. I'm betting at 2.5, but I'm not crazy about it, especially where we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be Mac or Purdy still. The 49ers have been really quiet about it. So I look at this as Purdy was close last week. Maybe he comes back this week, but like we said last week, that wasn't really a Mac Jones' fault. They lost that game. So another game where I was like, okay, maybe I'll be on the under here because I just know the public's going to come in really heavy on the over. Again, it's only Tuesday here. I've seen 3 different books that give out their betting line info. 95 to 100% of the money is on the over in this matchup. So people love it here. I just look at this as a divisional game. It's always a risky bet, especially if it's a high total of 48.5. So another sneaky little play I like here is the under in this game.
Simon, the Baltimore Ravens are visiting the Cleveland Browns at Hard Rock Bet. The Cleveland Browns are 8-point underdogs. There are plenty of 8.5s out there. I'm telling you right now, the Cleveland Browns +8 are going to be Chad's Choice, presented by Hard Rock Bet. I'm obviously hoping and praying that Dylan Gabriel can find a way to get into the end zone at some point in this game. But really, we've established a pattern here that has worked well for us, not because it's a trend, but because we actually see this with our eyes. The Browns defense is just a different team at home. This is going back 2 seasons now, in which they continue to be able to dominate against much better teams at home and keep themselves in a position to win these games. And right now we're getting a Baltimore Ravens team that has won 3 in a row, that now just looked great against a Vikings team that everyone expected might be a little bit closer of a game. And all of a sudden, it's a massive, massive number in the division against a still very stingy defense. So give me the stingy defense. You know I like to bet a team when I feel like they're massive underdogs and I know they can have at least one dominant area of the game between offense, defense, and special teams. They've got a unit, and I think their defensive unit can be dominant.
Yeah, this is a game we both pinged Sunday night. And I knew right away, it's like, okay, this is a good game. We're probably going to be talking Sunday morning about. We're just everything about it we love. Love the matchup, love the scheme-wise. Like you said, these teams already played. Ravens won 41-17 much earlier in the season. And as much as you want to take away from that game, that this Browns team maybe doesn't match up well for them, like we said, that's on the road. It's a difference. They're just a different team at home this season. I believe the most points they've lost by is 4. So we've just seen they play close games at home. It's a really tough team to beat at home. And, the Browns, as bad as that loss was against that Jets team, we said it's special teams. Like Gabriel wasn't that terrible. It seems like he's getting more comfortable in this offense as the season is going along here. So, we need one. We need one from him. Need him to get 1 or 2 touchdowns from him at least, because Lamar will eventually get his. It's just the way it is. He's one of the best players in all of football. So, matchup-wise, can they take away the run? Can they keep Lamar contained? They got the guys. This front is just so impressive, so dominant. So, both love it. Can't avoid it. Like you said, shop around for the 8.5, people. It's such a key number. Go get it. Could see this being like Miami, though. Could see this getting to 7.5 by kickoff as a professional when he comes in. But it's going to be fun to see what the Brooks do with it, because it's going to be huge parlays, huge teasers. Everyone's just fully comfortable all in on this Ravens team, especially after last week where they won so big for us and the public. It was a big win and a cover by them. I think everyone's fully bought in now at this point on this Ravens team.
Yeah, totally true. All true, everything you just said. Cleveland Browns, Chad's Choice, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Kansas City at Denver. You liked this one on Sunday night. You liked Kansas City. You said Kansas City -3. It has now moved to 3.5.
No, wait, did I really?
I think you did, didn't you?
Oh, man.
I could have sworn you did. By the way, I do have one more stat for the Browns that I forgot to mention from Killer Sports. Teams playing their 3rd straight road game, coming off a straight up and against a spread win, like the Ravens. They are the opposing team is 65% against the spread. Glad to say. Yeah, I could have sworn you said you like Kansas City on Sunday. Did I miss it?
No, it was good early read, but I'm shocked because this was like a Denver game in a million different ways where I knew this line would be semi-inflated. Thought it would be 4.5. Maybe we get there as the public comes in here on this team.
I'm wrong. You like Denver. I'm looking at this right now. You like Denver.
Because it just feels
was Denver
situation
plus
like
4.
a good Denver matchup, a good matchup for them as a dog. And we always talk about we just don't trust Mahomes as more than a 3-point favorite, especially in divisional against these type of games where we just know it's gonna be grueling, ugly, close type of game. So, not shockingly, everyone hates Denver now. I mean, that was painful to watch last Thursday. Cost a bunch of people a bunch of money, and the Chiefs still look like one of the best teams in all football, right? When it's clicking for them offensively, I know the record doesn't reflect it, but we all view them still as one of the better teams. So I hope this gets higher. I was going to make this Simon Says, but I didn't just because I do think we could get a 4.5 here. I just could see a ton of public love for this Chiefs team, and I could see the professionals being patient because this won't dip back to 3. There's just no way the books take a stand that way. So I do like Denver here, but I'm not going to make it better yet. I do think we can get some 4s here popping up pretty soon.
All right. To be clear, you did say Denver on Sunday night. I misremembered.
Yeah, it was late.
It was late. At the end of those days, I'm a mess, man. I'm tired. I'm a little dehydrated. My head starts to hurt a little bit. You're not yourself on Sunday mornings. Sunday night, I'm a morning guy. You're an evening guy. Yin and yang.
I think it's the fact that I've been up 24 hours straight. By that point, I'm already kind of loopy.
Yeah.
I'm totally losing my mind by then.
Could be. Well, by that point, I've been up, 13 hours straight. And so I'm exhausted.
There you go.
All right, primetime spotlight. We got some island games, standalone games. Let's talk about it. Detroit +2 at Philadelphia. I think on Sunday night, we both talked about liking Detroit, but we wanted to wait to see what happened in the Monday night game because we thought the line would move. It was at 1.5. It's 2 at Hard Rock. It's 2.5 in a lot of other places. I still like Detroit here. I feel like it's a pretty good spot for them. And I don't know that what we saw offensively from the Eagles last night was an anomaly. It seems to be how they play the game without a lot of rhythm, with some weird play calling. And they win. They find ways to win. But I think Detroit's offense, with Dan Campbell calling the plays, might have a better chance to find their rhythm as well.
Huge mistake. Nah, I'm not gonna give you too hard of a time about it. I did like the Lions. I thought it would probably be a good spot, but already took some shit about my love for the Lions and how I'm stepping in it, walking in.
Really?
A little bit, and it is fair. Like, they've faced one good defense this year, this Lions team, and they put up 17 points against the Chiefs. This is not a good matchup for Goff. Like, you just saw that front now with Phillips on this Eagles team. They got some guys now up front that can get pressure in one-on-one matchups against other teams' quarterbacks. So I'll be patient here. Like, I hate when I do get flipped on these type of games and the number's gone against me. Like, if this was 1.5, obviously I'd still feel much better about the Eagles team. But like you said, now it's up to 2.5. I don't know how much I'm going to really dig in here, but it seems like the Eagles might be the wrong side. This Lions team, as good as they are, they do have some flaws. Defensively, they are banged up. And I don't know if Campbell calling your offense is where you want to be. I really don't. Like that, when I heard that, I was like, man, Campbell's now their offensive coordinator. Like, Chad's going to get his wish. A lot of runs up the middle on 4th and 1. I guarantee you that, even if he gets stopped 3 times in a row. So, I don't know. Like, this is a team that, like we said, they got embarrassed with that Chiefs game. Then we loved them in the spot. They beat up on the Bucs at home, had the bye week, lost to JJ McCarthy, and then just beat up on a Washington team. So I just have a lot of questions. As much as we have questions about this Eagles team, it's a good number for them. They're at home under a field goal, catching a team that might be overvalued and overrated publicly just because they already forgot about that bad Vikings loss and they just come off a dominant win. So I just have have little questions here about why the pros hit me up so hard about being on the Eagles. And they were right once again last night about the Eagles team. That was a game they covered from the minute the game kicked off to the very end. They covered the entire way through. So yeah, we might be underselling this Eagles team that just, it doesn't look pretty, Chad, but they keep winning. I think they're 6-1 now in 1-score games this season. It's under a field goal. So this might be an Eagles line.
All right, look, I can be agreeable. And look, I thought about this last night. There was one of the plays where Jalen Hurts was pushed out of the pocket, scrambling right early in the game to convert a third down. I forgot who he hit, and Shipley, I think, Will Shipley.
Yeah.
And he was so relaxed and smooth and unbothered, and that's how he's always playing as quarterback of the Eagles. Like, it just all seems as though he's seen it, he gets it, he understands how to win, which he has done his entire career, going back to college. So I get it. Like, it's a hard team.
I thought it took him a quarter to shake that fumble, though, interestingly enough. Like you're saying,
yeah, he seemed frustrated. He did seem frustrated.
After that, he was like forcing throws that usually doesn't force. And it's like they need to get in his ear, tell him to kind of bring it back. So, yeah, like I will not be shocked if this is one of the most public dogs of the week. Detroit. The Eagles just look so bad on a short week now, facing a Detroit team that looks so good in the eyes of the public. So, yeah, it's an interesting line that the book's opened here with.
Look, we still owe a Simon Says, and there's only one game left. It's Dallas at Las Vegas.
Oh, my God.
Las Vegas is a 3.5-point dog. By the way, this line on Monday was Dallas minus 1.5. So it's gone up 2 points at this point. Simon, what say you?
Chad knows me so well. Simon says, give me Las Vegas Raiders plus 3.5.
I want to play a game. Simon Says.
I feel like all year I'm going to just keep telling people you fade Dallas when they're more than a 3-point favorite, and it's hit every game. I'm trying to think what game we lost this year on it. There was some stupid game they won, but yeah, like just this matchup, it feels like the same with the Panthers. Panthers were 3.5. They covered it. Cardinals were 3.5 against this Dallas team, covered one outright. It's just an offense that, you know, the Broncos were a really good defense, and they did what we thought they would do, right? I can't believe we didn't cover that. And if you would have told me the Raiders would score 7 points, have a blocked field goal, blocked punt, 9 penalties, you would think you would have covered that one. But this Raiders team still playing hard. I mean, as bad as I thought they would look, it's a team that has been playing hard for their coach. And when you look at this matchup, I think they're underrating this, getting rid of Myers and the fact that this offense, people are just so downplaying them because of that Broncos game where, getting Brock Bowers back, it's a huge upgrade to this team. I know they didn't use him the previous week, but against Dallas, who cannot cover the middle of the field, this is the dream matchup for him. So, Dak, this is a get-right game for him. He could put up a ton of points, but I just see this team keeping up with them and this being a closer game than people realize. So as we sit here right now, there's a couple threes out there. I'm seeing a lot of books move to 3.5. So get it while you can. Hard Rock is one of the first books to get to 3.5. I do think it'll go back down as professionals come in on this Raiders team, but we'll see. Like we always say, the Monday night games, the public does a ton of teasers, ton of money line parlays, all tied to that Monday game. So right now we're looking at a Dallas team on the road, probably going to be getting by kickoff 80% of the money, 80% of the tickets. I just think the public's going to hammer them in this matchup. So a dog at home, getting that least amount of money like that. I just love this matchup for this Raiders team.
All right, look, we got a lot of games to talk about on Thursday. We're going to have to talk about the Browns. We're probably going to have to talk about Cincinnati. We're going to have to talk about Houston because we want to know who's playing quarterback. We'll be curious about Green Bay to see how that number moves.
And the Houston, there is a 6.5 out there now. People are going to hear this. 6.5 have popped up.
Now we got to go bet 6.5 on Houston. The Bucs. We're very curious to see how the line moves on the Bears and the Vikings. The Jags, we're not going to talk about it. Seattle, we're interested in. Arizona, if we can get it to 3, we're interested in. Denver plus 3.5. We want more on the Philly-Detroit game in Las Vegas plus 3.5, as Simon says. Man, it is going to be busy.
And one more line shift before we go. Jets up to 12.5 now. So,
oh my God,
probably gonna get to 13. Chad, we're not gonna have a choice but to bet it come Thursday night once it gets to 13.
Oh my God,
gross.
The poor Jets. All right, this has been Sharper Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We'll be back on Thursday with the games we're zeroing in on, plus our head-to-head battle, our Brass Balls Bet of the Week, so much more. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharp or Square. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also downloads from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe. Feedback is a gift. To leave us 5 stars. Until next time, love you.
Hey, let's be careful.